Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the Los Angeles Lakers lost to the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas, 128-110, in a game that we all know really didn't mean a whole lot at this point, even though mathematically we're still in a position to technically make the playoffs or play-in tournament, I should say. I watched about as little of this game as I've watched any game this season, to be honest with you. I just didn't have it in me, man. I watched the first couple of minutes of it, saw what they were doing, kind of lost interest, came back around before the end of the first half. The score had gotten worse, walked away, came back in like the fourth quarter. I didn't watch this game. I watched the highlights just now of the second half. Didn't even watch the first half of the highlights because I had seen enough to know what it was in that first half. I think what I took from the game and the little that I saw was that the Lakers just left the Dallas Mavericks open to shoot threes. The Mavericks have some key shooters in Reggie Bullock and Davis Bertans. And when you let them both have 9 threes between the two of them, and you couple that with, you get 2 out of Dinwiddie, 2 from Green, a couple from Luka. Like, when you give up that many 3-point shots and then you turn around and attempt 44 of them and only take 12, yeah, you're going to get blown out. And couple that with the size issue that we had out there. Even though against this team you can kind of get away with small ball, not without a superstar in LeBron James. You're not going to have nothing to compete with. I thought we saw some good things out of Russell Westbrook in the stat sheet. He did some good things, heavy on the scoring, which was obviously necessary, close to a triple-double. And you saw Malik Monk give us some really good scoring. His 3-point shot was wet tonight. He looked really good. Aside from that, judging from what I saw, I just didn't see a whole lot of good. Russell Westbrook on the defensive end was kind of like the catalyst for a lot of what went wrong in terms of what I was able to see. In that first half, I mentioned it in the video that I made responding to the first half. I told you guys that I'd seen him mess up 3 straight plays where he was trying to double team off of his man, and then the player he double teamed would then make a pass for which a player would make another pass. And they would find the open man by working the ball around. You see that happen 3 times in a row, and you just don't want to watch anymore. And that's exactly what happened to me. That is exactly what happened to me. I'm like, I cannot watch this. We were already down 19, and we were blowing defensive assignments. I'm seeing guys looking at 3-point shooters. You got a guy by the name of Davis Bertans who literally doesn't do anything else. He's one of the worst contracts in the league because all he does is shoot. And I'm watching us watch him shoot. Like, not even putting a hand in his face, not even running at him. He doesn't put the ball on the floor. So if you rush at him and you force him to put the ball on the floor, you're in a good position because he's not going to do nothing with it. And we didn't even have the decency to run at the man. He ain't got nothing else to do out there but shoot threes. He doesn't do anything else. And we were leaving him open for 3-point shots, doubling off of him. Not even the double Luka in some of them situations. We were doubling Dinwiddie. When a team is melded in and they already have bad habits and they already have issues with their roster, it just compounds the bad that you're going to have to watch when you see them play. That's really what it is. It was just like a bad team has melded in. It was already bad, but now they're melding it in. So that's what you saw out there. I'm just counting down the games so this can hurry up and end. I don't think I've ever been more ready for a season to end in my entire life. I'm serious, man. I'm so serious. I watched a lot of bad Laker teams over the years, obviously, when we were rebuilding. But all in all, this team is about as bad as those teams were. And the only thing that makes them better is the fact that we have LeBron James on the roster. That's the only thing that makes them better than the Sacre, Robert Kelly, Tarek Black Lakers. That's the only other Laker team that was worse than this one in my mind. And at least that team we had absolutely no expectations for. You weren't sitting up watching them. You knew they were on. You just listened to the commentary after the game. You don't watch them play. Couldn't watch them play. They didn't allow you to. They were so bad to watch. They were not watchable. That's kind of what the Lakers put on the floor tonight. That's about what we saw out there tonight. And that's what I would choose to see. And I'll explain that. The Lakers don't need to be bringing back anybody of value this season. For the rest of the games, 6 games left, we shouldn't see nobody that you actually want to see on the floor anymore. No. Anybody that we want, like we truly want to keep, now it's about preserving their health. Obviously, you can give Austin Reeves, Stanley Johnson, and Wenyen Gabriel the minutes, you know what I mean? Because obviously they're developing players. THT, they're the ones we should be seeing. Malik Monk, that's all we should be seeing right now. We put Trevor in this game. I don't know why. What is he doing for you? Like, in any way, shape, or form, what is he doing for you? The only thing you're doing by putting him on the floor is doing him a favor and allowing him to continue playing NBA basketball. That's literally the only thing we're doing. He's not helping us on the floor. He's not helping us in raising his trade value. He's not going to be able to do the things we need him to do on the floor to make him valuable. There's no reason to play him. I'm so serious. I feel the exact same way about Carmelo Anthony. I feel the same way about Avery Bradley. I feel the same way about DeAndre Jordan, of whom we've waived. I feel the same way about every veteran on this team, not named LeBron James and pretty much DJ Augustin. That's it. Everybody else probably needs to go. Love Dwight, but he can't help us. That's over with. So, I didn't like that we put that on the floor tonight because I didn't like that we were in the circumstances for which we were forced to based on all the decisions that this team has made. But within the confines of what it is that we have to work with, yeah, we did what we're supposed to do. Play the kids and nobody of value. Since we don't want to call up people who can potentially raise their value, like I've been suggesting for the past 2 months, then the best thing the Lakers can do, since they don't have a clue, is just rest everybody and get out of this season, as a bad team. You're a bad team. You're giving your pick to New Orleans or the Memphis Grizzlies. And that's the story of your season. That is it. That is all. That's what you have to show for your ineptitude. You get to make either a rebuilding New Orleans team much better or surefire contender who could possibly win the NBA championship better. That's what we're doing with our season. That's what our bad play is going to do. It's going to make the Memphis Grizzlies even better, basically. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no disappointment worse than the Lakers in sports this season. Maybe this decade. There's never been a more disappointing Laker team. And I could argue there's never been a more disappointing NBA team. I can't think of one. That had higher expectations with more touted and declarated talent to fall as flat as they actually did. And we got the excuse of many things. But at the end of the day, that's the results of what we got. There's nothing new to say. You can shave down to 2 contracts, bring in the players that can help you get better, that don't cost anything, waive people that you had no business signing in the first place, and fire coaches who can't figure out what it is that should be asked of them at this point. And then fire the front office who can't convey what should be asked of those coaches at this point. That is all the Lakers really need to be doing, man. Firing people, that's it. Ain't nothing else to talk about. And any sign of them not making those decisions are just a signal to us that they have no interest in competing next season either. And to lose faith in them for the foreseeable future because they have no interest in competing after that either. That's what I'm getting from this team. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have anybody around them helping them figure out what to do. And they're without a clue or a plan, as I've said once before. So, congratulations to the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic. I think he had something like 34, 12, and 12 or something like that. Superstar, as always. Jalen Brunson had a decent game, 12 points, something like that. They had like 8 players with double figures, almost 9, with Dorian Finney-Smith having 8 points tonight. I think that's how that went. He shot the 3 ball well as usual. I'm happy to see Josh Green getting some minutes with the Mavericks. They drafted him in the lottery last year, I believe it was, and he's being brought along slowly, but he had 20 solid minutes tonight and is slowly but surely working his way into the equation for the Dallas Mavericks. I'm hopeful that they can kind of give him some more looks out there so he can develop and become who it is that he can be. He's one of those guys who kind of probably, and I say probably because there's no way of knowing, but he's probably suppressed by the usage of a Luka Doncic and the ball handlers on that team that are just everywhere at this point. So, yeah, it's good to see them find a way to work him into it. Yeah, you're leaving shooters open, man. That's it. That's what the game was tonight. If you judge box score, that's really what it was. The rebounding total was pretty much the same. We shot about 80-something% from the free throw line. I think we gave up 50+% from the field. So, in 40+% from three. So basically, we just let them shoot all night, and they hit shots. Excuse me. That's what it was. And of course, we shot bad 3-point shots and missed them. A lot. A whole lot. And so, lack of size. We saw a lot of Carmelo Anthony in the paint. Saw a lot of stuff that you didn't like. Roster rotations. 3-point guards, 2 forwards, that kind of thing. Frank Vogel stuff. Same old stuff. So, yeah, man. I don't know. I'm going to give the game ball to the great Luka Doncic for taking care of business, continuing to lead his team toward the playoffs. It wasn't hard tonight. You got a free game tonight against one of the worst teams in all of basketball. That's what we saw. Luka Doncic get a free game. They didn't take the game lightly. They didn't look at the situation and say LeBron wasn't on the floor. Let me just kind of take the foot off the gas. They kept their foot on the gas. They played us with some respect. And the score reflected that. They respected the game. Didn't care who the opponent was. They played up to the level that they were supposed to. And let the chips fall where they may. And for them, they got a blowout. That's how it goes. Respect the game. Respect every possession. Take good shots. Play good defense. Match up properly. Give yourself a chance. We neglect to do all those things consistently, and that is why we suck. That's it. Lakers suck, man. They suck real bad. Second worst Laker team in the history of the sport, in my opinion. And they're still building their legacy, so they could drop a little further. To be honest with you, there's 6 games left. They could disappoint further. Games like this just make you want to fire everybody. And I mean everybody. You don't want anybody back. You start looking over at the bench, people not even wearing uniforms, and you mad at them for not being healthy. Like, that's how bad the situation is. We have so many problems. You look at the people and you're blaming them for things that they ain't got no control over. That's the environment that this front office has created with this 3 max contract bull crap. These old guys that they wanted to build this team around. Just the worst possible way to build. Fumbling LeBron James's time with this team in ways that just, really speak to the ineptitude that we've developed. We've developed since Dr. Bus passed, basically. I don't think there's 3 teams in the league that could both win a championship and then turn around and have a season like this, all in a flurry of 3 years. I don't know that another team could do that. Only us. Only us. Rebuild, ruin it, rebuild again, and ruin it. Only us. I don't know. I'm sick of talking about it, to be honest with you. I'm going to leave it at that, man. My level of frustration with this team has never been higher, I don't think. I don't think it's ever been higher. Probably since I was a little kid. Maybe when we traded Shaq. I was about... Yeah. So that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Game ball goes to the great Luka Doncic. I'm out. I'm going to drink some water, clear my throat. and forget about this game. I suggest you do the same. My name is BDF44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.